Hey guys, I decided I should start making commentary videos on my channel because first of all it helps me speak English more fluently, and second I enjoy ranting about many things. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. We all remember our first phones and our first games on our little screens, and we're so happy to have the opportunity to try it out. Nowadays kids are just begging their parents to get the newest iPhones. If I were one of those parents, I wouldn't be buying any smartphones for my 7-year-old kid until they were at least 14 or 15 years old. The younger generation are getting addicted to TikTok, and some are even imitating some of the TikTok trends. Some of those trends are just inappropriate for their age. But that's not the subject of today's video. What I will be talking about today is mobile gaming and some of the games we may or may not remember. Mobile gaming began in 1994 with the first developed game being Tetris variant on the Hagenuk MT2000 device. In 1997, Nokia launched the very first successful Snake game. From that point on, new and much more improved phones were starting to appear, from Nokia, Samsung, Siemens, all the way to iPhones and Androids. People around my generation and older remember spending a certain part of their lifetime with different Nokia, Samsung and other phones. With the phones improving, more games were also being programmed and implemented to the newer models. Despite growing up with PC games, I did play quite a bit of games on my Nokia phone. The only way you were able to access other games besides the ones that were implemented to your phone is by downloading jar files of a game you wanted from certain websites and transfer it to your phone. The phones would usually be able to read those files, and opening those files on your phone would run those games. I remember playing a 2D rip-off version of Minecraft on my Nokia. As a kid, that was good enough entertainment for me, and almost never got bored of it. There were numerous choices of games, but you would have to look up games that feature mobile model. For example, if you had Nokia 105 model, you'd have to find games that are fitting for that phone. Every day I would check the website for any new game to try out on my phone. Overall, I think the old phones were great entertainment and fun for any kid. However, that isn't the same case nowadays. Sure, they are more superior than the old phones, but not every phone was perfect. There is a big difference between Android phones and iPhones. iPhones have some applications that Android phones can't have. Same goes for Androids as well. Androids have their Google Play Store, where they can download or buy games they wish to play. However, iPhones have App Store, which is like Google Play Store but for iPhones. I don't know much about iPhones, but I personally grew up with Android phones, and was never disappointed. My first smartphone was G-Smart, and I'm gonna be honest, I never knew if it was any good. But it never bothered me until its condition was worsening every day. Generally speaking, it served me well and I had a lot of fun using it. After using that phone for almost 5 years, I had to buy a new phone. I went with the phone made by Huawei, because I've heard it was good. It was able to handle some of the games that the previous phone couldn't, like PUBG Mobile, and I still use it to this day. However, the condition of it is now terrible. And that's one of the biggest downsides of modern phones. Using any Android phone or iPhone would last mostly 2 to 3 years. And after that you would start getting the urge to buy a new one, because the battery inside of the phones were being used up quite a lot, causing the battery to slowly lose its capacity, and the time you're able to use the phone between charges would drastically decrease. The older phones would last years and years and still work the same. How I see new phones, it seems as if the companies are just trying to improve phone specifications, camera quality, and just want to push out those phones as soon as possible. I haven't noticed too much difference besides those two things between the newer phones and modern phones. When it comes to games on the modern phones, there are games made by Supercell, those being Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Payday, Boom Beach, and Brawl Stars. Addicting games like Subway Surfers, Jetpack Joyride, Temple Run, Ninja Fruit, there is just way too many great games and applications you can find there. Now when it comes to the newer games, there is just a lot of things that needs to be said about. Starting off with advertisements. Advertising can be good for your game and or company's success, but some people take advertisements to a new level. That being said, some people just tend to straight up clickbait people who get their ads by showing fake gameplay to them. Great example of that is a game called Lords Mobile. I've never had interests in strategic games, but Lords Mobile really overdid it with the fake ads. I've seen ads where it shows Lords Mobile as an RPG game, another time as a 3D fighting game. What the fuck is this? They made so many different ads, none of them, not a single one, shows the actual gameplay. And those ads have nothing to do with the game itself. And that's what annoyed me a lot. I wouldn't care if their ad wasn't popping in almost any application or game that contained ads in them. Fortunately, the ads of Lords Mobile are now in the past. Another form of clickbaiting I've seen is games where the gameplay is so simple, a 12-year-old could beat it. However, the person who made the ad, or quote-unquote, recorded the gameplay, was making the stupidest decision, always making it seem hard when it's super easy. However, that isn't all. We're only getting to the worst part. We have ads that are not only a clickbait, but also suggestive as well. These are the ads that pissed me off the most. To give you an example, you have games where you're supposed to look for clues or erase some objects to find the objective. In their ads, they made levels where you have to erase someone's clothes to reveal the naughty stuff, yet they cut off the ad before they get to that part. Okay, I'm done with these fucking ads. I feel like I'm gonna get demonetized for this, what the fuck. There are lots of children playing many games and casually run into those types of ads that should not be allowed under any circumstances at all. Out of every game I've heard or seen, one sticks out the most, and that game is I remember hearing that ad so many times that it became a literal meme. People either hate it or love it. I'm not trying to talk shit about the game. I've seen gameplay of Raid Shadow Legends, but I think their ads are just really annoying. I mean, just imagine relaxing with some YouTube and you're trying to learn something new or useful, and the person you're watching interrupts the video with, "But first, a word from our sponsors, Raid Shadow Legends." At that point I just lose all interest in watching the video. Of course, no hate towards anyone who was being paid to promote Raid Shadow Legends. This is all just my own criticism on mobile gaming ads. All jokes aside, I think that phones and mobile games have improved quite a lot in the past 28 years. Every generation had their own peaks and downsides, but I definitely prefer the modern phones and games rather than the old ones. I've had my fun with them, and I think it's time we keep on evolving the concept of mobiles and mobile gaming. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'd like to hear if you have any suggestions on what should I talk about in one of my next commentary videos. This was my first one I've ever done. If there's anything I've said that is inaccurate or wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. Take care and have a good one.